Welcome to The Losing Streak, a sports gambling podcast for those who just can't seem to win. My name is Bankroll Bill. I'm here with my co-host, Automatic Austin.
How's it going, everybody?
Well, let's get right into it. We killed some games and some games we didn't. But I was looking back at our conferences, and our best picks was me. We both picked Memphis to win, which that would have been a great bet if we had actually picked that.
Yeah, that was what were the odds on that? Like plus 560 or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, and but the best champion odds that one of us picked was me. I picked Grand Canyon at plus 1400.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that when they scored that like 100-point game, it just kind of just raised my knuckles. Like, this team is better than I feel like they've been playing. But whatever, we'll see how that goes when we talk about theirs. So let's just get right into it. The selection Sunday, the bracket's been released. We got the first 4 games on Tuesday, and we got the rest of the games starting on Thursday. So we're just going to go down game by game and get right into it. So the first game are my boys from Southeast Missouri State playing Texas A&M Corpus Christi. I was rooting for Southeast Missouri State when they won their conference, but I don't know, man. They're pretty low ranked compared to Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, I'm not really interested in betting this game, to be honest. They're both 16 seeds. I did bet A&M Corpus Christi to win their title, so that was a nice little. Remember, they were down by like 16. I took my dog on a walk, and I came back, and they were only down by 2, and then they ended up winning. So that was a nice little surprise. But yeah, not really having a feel for this game. Not really interested in betting on it.
Yeah, I'll probably just, since it'll be the only game on, I'll probably just take the points with Southeast Missouri State and see how the game goes, see if I can hedge it at all. But,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, either of them is going to lose whoever they're playing, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the other game on Tuesday is Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Pittsburgh Panthers. So any interest in this game? I think Pitt's pretty solid pick for this game, honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised Pitt's not in the tourney. Like, they had a really good year. They had a bunch of transfers. I think their coach did a really good job. I think they can beat Mississippi State. I know the ACC compared to the SEC isn't that great, but I still think Pitt could get it done. I'm surprised they're +2. I thought it'd be more like a pick 'em.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I would definitely take Pitt in that game. We're just looking at it early.
Yeah, I'm not locking it in yet, but yeah, I'm definitely looking at Pitt for sure.
Yep, and then we go to Wednesday, and you got the Texas Southern Tigers, who somehow they're favored against Farley Dickinson. I mean, I don't know. I have to look more at Farley Dickinson, but Texas Southern was like one of the worst teams in their conference, I feel like, right? Didn't they have a crazy run?
I think they've won their conference like 3 straight years. So they've been in the tournament for a few years in a row. Yeah, and they were only like 11-20 this year, and they won their conference. So that was actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, because every time I saw them playing somebody, it was like, oh, they're big underdogs, and they just kept winning. So good for them.
Exactly.
But the other game that night, a little more interesting, Arizona State and Nevada. I feel like Nevada, however you say it, they've been pretty – I have not been impressed with them this year.
Yeah,
how do you feel about that?
That's why I was looking at ASU before we started. ASU is a really good neutral court team. They were killing the tournaments at the beginning of the year before conference play started. So, yeah, I think I'm also leaning ASU in that game. I think Nevada's a little bit overrated.
Yeah, looking at Sportsline, they got a prediction for they don't even have the newer games on here. They have a prediction that Nevada will win, but I don't know. I'll think more about that game. Arizona State seems like the instinct pick as soon as it jumps out at you. But
the Pac-12 is better than the Mountain West. But also going back to the Pitt and Mississippi State game. Pitt's quad 1 record is 4-4. Mississippi State's is 4-8. I mean, Mississippi State's NET ranking is higher, but yeah, I think Pitt's the right side there for sure.
Yeah. All right. So that's our first 4 games.
Yeah. So I'm running with Pitt and ASU for those first 4.
I don't disagree with that. That sounds good. Then we get into the real tournament, the real round one starting on Thursday. We got this is an interesting line: West Virginia -2, -2 at Maryland or versus Maryland.
Yeah, so it's at 2.5 on DraftKings. It was at -2. I locked it in at -2. So this was one of my locks before we got it started. West Virginia was a low key team in the Big 12. They got off to a really slow start because they're a young team, but they have a lot of size. They're very athletic. Their shooting came alive at the end of the year. So I really think they'll beat Maryland, a team that, I mean, they're a good defensive team too. They have some size, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the Big 12 is way better than the Big 10. And West Virginia put up some fight against Kansas at the end of the year. Obviously, they lost in the tournament. They got smoked, but, I mean, Kansas's coach, had a heart attack, so they were playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. So I really believe West Virginia is the right side on this one. It's one of my locks, and I think it's probably going to end up being one of my early play of the days on Thursday morning for the bracket.
And I do like how it's the first game, so we can kind of see how the Big Ten looks. Exactly. We know how they've been looking against each other and kind of back and forth, kind of crappy. But this will be a good statement game for both conferences.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to fade the Big Ten early this year, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. Hopefully we're right on that.
Yeah, and then going to the next game, I think I'm pretty sure I know how we're both leaning toward this one with the Furman Paladins +5. Yeah. The Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia looked bad. They got to the finals against Duke, right?
Yeah, and then they got smoked. But I mean, they haven't been. Everyone knows they're not really that good. They're 5-5, quad 1 record. They just, I don't know. This team doesn't really jump out to me anywhere. I mean, they're a good 3-point shooting team, but like you have one bad night and you're done. So it's like, I don't know. I don't like Virginia in this tournament. I don't think they go very far. They're one of the teams I'm looking to fade early and often. So, yeah, and Furman, I'm pretty sure opened at +6 and it's already at +5. So, early money's on Furman.
Yeah, I like the Furman side on that one. Virginia's really good underperforming. Now, I'm kind of mad Covers.com doesn't only have the matchups yet. They're slacking, man. Can't really see stuff, but all right. Anyways, moving on. Utah State. Interesting. Favored by 2 against Missouri.
Yeah, this one's kind of tricky because Missouri's kind of screwed me a few times, and I actually really like Utah State's team this year. I feel like their coach might, I don't know if the awards have already come out, but I feel like their coach might win Coach of the Year in the Mountain West. But I'm leaning Utah State. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, Utah State's done pretty well. I was pulling it up here. Let's see.
You pull up Utah State, I'll pull up Missouri.
Yeah, early action looking like it's going on Utah State here. Yeah, because I mean, other than losing to San Diego State in that championship game, I feel like they've been on a pretty good run this year. They're 7-3 against the spread in the last 10.
Missouri's 6-9 in quad 1 wins. Let me check Utah State.
And in all their wins in the tournament, Utah State covered. So, yeah. They covered against Boise State twice at the end of the year.
Utah State was 2-4, but I don't know. I feel like they really kicked it up at the end of the year. They only lost by 2 to San Diego State. They beat Boise State twice. They're 9-1 in quad 2, 13-0 quad 3.
Yeah, I mean
that's a tricky one.
I mean Utah State's 10 seed, but they're definitely favored for a reason, and I think that Vegas knows that they should win this game. So
that's a tough one. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. Next one, Howard at Kansas. How many points is Howard getting?
22.5.
22.5.
A bunch.
I don't really bet these 1-16 seed games unless there's like a 16 seed that like really impressed me this year, but Howard's definitely not one of them.
Right.
I thought they were. I didn't even think they were going to beat. I don't even want to touch this at all, really.
Yeah, no, Howard leaves a bad taste in my mouth because I bet on them before and they lost, and then I bet against them with Norfolk, and Norfolk is up 4 with like 6 seconds left, and they end up losing that game. So, yeah, definitely not looking to bet this game. Most of the 16-1 seed matchups, not really much value there because I mean, usually they're blowouts, but you never know with the backdoor covers or whatever.
Yeah, I wonder what the value is if you money line all the number ones together. It's probably not very much if it's
Probably
minus
not.
10,000 for Kansas.
Yeah, probably not very much, but
All right, moving on. We've got a nice 5-12 matchup here with College of Charleston and San Diego State.
yeah, and this is this should be one of the better games. Everyone knows about the 5-12 matchups. Everybody loves those matchups because that's usually where all the upsets come in. But this could actually be an upset. San Diego State didn't really impress me this year. I don't. I mean, they're always a good defensive team, but they just, I don't know. They didn't even really run through the Mountain West like they usually do this year because the Mountain West was a little bit better this year. So I mean, Charleston, they're great. They love to push the pace. They love to score a lot of points. Yeah, I mean, Charleston, and I'm looking at even the over 141.5.
Yeah, Charleston's been 7-3 against the spread in their last 10, 3-0 as underdog. So, I mean, yeah, as I was telling you before the podcast, I feel like this is like one of the best matchups Charleston could have asked for as a 12. And 12-5 upsets are like the most common ones, I feel like, of the lower ranking ones. So, yeah, I might even lock that in as a pick already, College of Charleston, 4.5.
I would not disagree with that.
All right. Moving on, we've got Princeton, Arizona. I mean, I know Arizona's going to win this game.
Dude, if anything, I'd lay it 13.5 with Arizona. I don't know why this is so short. Princeton is terrible.
Yeah, I didn't even think they were going to win today, much less, tournament game. So,
I mean, I thought they might win, but they're not really, I don't know how they are going to compete with Arizona. I mean, their tallest dude was like 6'9", 6'8". Arizona has. What's up?
Yeah, they'll have to shoot like 100% from 3-point.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand a chance here.
Yeah, so I mean, if anything, I'm laying the 13.5 with Arizona.
I don't fault you as a homer for Arizona. I'm probably going to stay away from that. I don't like lines that big unless we're talking football. Even in football, I don't even like that line, 13.5. All right. Moving on to the next game. I'm pretty sure I know how we're both betting this one. Illinois.
Yeah, locked it in.
Illinois +3 and Arkansas -3 at what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I already locked in 2.5 for Arkansas before it moved. Illinois' quad 1 record, guys, is 2-11. They are frauds, okay? Do not bet on Illinois.
Yeah.
They are frauds.
And if you, for some reason, want to bet, no, don't bet on Illinois at all. If you're betting first half, bet Arkansas. If you're betting full game, bet Arkansas. Yeah, there's no value in Illinois here.
I'm betting first half Arkansas too because we know how Illinois sucks in the first half. I mean, even in the Big Ten, they went 11-9. The Big Ten is terrible. Like, this is not a good team. I watched them; they're not good. They don't have a star player. They just have a bunch of guys that like to shoot and miss 3-pointers. All right, they're not very good. So, I'm all over Arkansas. Arkansas is big, physical. Yeah, Illinois is not ready for the type of basketball that Arkansas is about to bring. They're gonna pound them, bruise them. They're gonna destroy Illinois.
And the next game, I feel like I know exactly the same answer going to be with number 8 Iowa, number 9 Auburn. Auburn's favored by a 1.5.
This one I'm a little. I don't know, man. You know how I like Iowa.
I don't anymore after they lost to Ohio State.
Yeah, I feel that, but dude, Auburn is terrible. I mean, Auburn isn't good. Neither this game could literally go either way. This is why I wanted to stay away from this game. I'm not really having a feel. If I get some good info on it, maybe I'll let you know. But as of right now, this is a pass for me.
Well, that'll be 6:50 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So by that time, we'll be able to see how bad the Big Ten teams have done. They're all getting blown out.
We'll see. At that point, we'll see Illinois and Maryland. We'll see how those two do. So we'll see.
All right. The next game, Oral Roberts and Duke. Duke's laying 6.5, which seems kind of short to me.
Yeah. What seed is Duke?
Duke is a 5 seed.
So 5 against a 12.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, this line seems a little short, man.
Yeah, it's weird too. Maybe is that what it opened at? Because
I thought it opened a little lower at like +5 or 5.5.
It says open at 7.5 and then went down to 6.5.
Oh, okay.
It looked like a lot of people hitting Oral Roberts. But,
I like Oral Roberts too. Dude, Duke. I don't know. I watched the highlights of the Duke game. Like, they look so unathletic this year. I don't know who even is on Duke that's good, but yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about this game yet. What about you?
Well, judging by the way they played in their conference tournaments, I was kind of fading Duke this year, and I was kind of more pushing towards North Carolina. But Duke impressed me more. Not necessarily that they're like a great team, not necessarily that I think they're going to like go very far, but they cover the spread, man. They like push hard towards the end of the game, and that's what I like to see in teams I bet on. So I really don't think Oral Roberts may keep it close, but I feel like at the end, like Duke they don't miss free throws, and they're a disciplined program, and I feel like they'll probably cover I feel like either Oral Roberts is going to win an upset or Duke's going to win by like 10. I feel like those are like the two options of this game, but we'll see. All the early money's on Oral Roberts, so maybe I'll just fade the public and go with the most public team of all time, Duke, but. Oral Roberts they're 30-4. Like
they destroyed this year. They're a good team. Like they're a solid team. I would not be shocked if Oral Roberts wins this game. That's why the line is so short, and that's why people are betting them. And that's why, if anything, I'm going to bet Oral Roberts in this game. I'm not betting Duke.
All right. So maybe I'll think about that one, but I don't know. Maybe I just got burned by Oral Roberts a couple of times, and they frustrated me. They did win their tournament championship game by 34 points. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, they crushed it this year.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. The next game is – I lost track where I went. Colgate, number 15 at Texas. So 2-15 seed game. Texas is favored by 14. The line opened at 15.
Yeah, I grabbed Colgate at +15. This is one of my locks as well. I don't understand why this is so big. Colgate is second in the country in 3-point attempts and makes behind Gonzaga. Like they can light it up. They can score with anybody in the league. So I'm not sure why this is so many points.
Yeah, well, enjoy betting that. I may have to bet on it when I'm in New Jersey later this week since Colgate's in New York.
Yeah.
I feel like Texas is really good at beating TCU and Kansas, but I feel like against other teams they have not impressed as much. But I don't know.
I mean, they'll probably win this game, no doubt. I just don't get why it's like 14. Like, how is Oral Roberts and Duke only 6.5, and then this one's only 14? Like, Colgate absolutely murdered their league this year. They won every conference tourney game, or their tourney game by like 15 points, like every one of them. So I don't know. Colgate they deserve a little bit more respect than that.
All right, let's give some respect to Colgate. Shout out to Colgate. All right,
Colgate.
Next game, 10 seed, 7 seed, Boise State. Boise State's 10 seed and Northwestern 7 seed. But Boise State is the 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, this is another tricky one that I did not know. Northwestern made it to the tourney for only the second time in their school history, I think. But even then, Boise State isn't, that veteran-esque, as you might say. They don't really make the tourney a lot either. On top of that, they are one of the they're not a deep team in the country. I forgot what the metric is, but when it comes to like bench minutes and stuff, they are one of the lowest in all of the country. So they don't have a deep squad. That scares me a little. On the other side, Northwestern is on a great offensive team. They have that one dude, I forgot his name. It's something weird, but he scores all their points. And if he doesn't have an off night, or if he doesn't have a good night, they don't score many points at all. So this game's kind of tricky, but if anything, I think I'm leaning Boise State as well.
Yeah, and just looking at like momentum at the end of the season, Boise State, they started winning games at the end, and Northwestern was losing games. I mean, Northwestern was kind of the jewel of the conference early on, and then they just kept losing games. So
right, exactly. They won. Yeah, they had their nice little run, but most of that they did damage at home, and then they went to the tourney and lost right away to freaking Penn State. So yeah, I'm on Boise State. I think I might lock that in right now. Actually, I'm just not high on the Big Ten this year at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault you for that one. All right, moving on. We've got Northern Kentucky, Houston. Houston's laying 20.5 points.
Yeah, not really interested in betting this one either. Even though Northern Kentucky is a pretty good team. If Houston's star, their leading scorer doesn't play, maybe I'll take the +20 with Northern Kentucky. But again, 1-16 seeds matchups don't really pique my interest.
Yeah, and even the backups on Houston are better than Northern Kentucky. Like, no offense.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, it doesn't matter if there's starters playing, I feel like. But, all right, yeah, I'm going to stay away from that game. Next game, we got the Raging Cajuns, Louisiana, 13 at 4 seed Tennessee. And Tennessee's laying 10.5 points.
Yeah, if you're anybody betting Tennessee, good luck because they are not going to go very far in this tournament.
Yeah.
They are
I feel
awful. I fucking hate Tennessee. They fucking suck.
Yeah, I feel like they'll squeak out a win here, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm tempted to just lock in the 10.5 with Louisiana Lafayette now because, like, when does Tennessee ever blow anybody out?
Yeah, nothing that I can think of.
Yeah, I'll look up their schedule right now and I'll see, but they're just awful, man. They lost to freaking Missouri in their tournament. Missouri isn't good.
They did beat Arkansas, though.
Yeah, when their leading scorer was hurt.
Okay.
Let's see, they got smacked by Kentucky.
But they were one of those teams, too. They got ranked early, and then they kept going downhill.
Smacked by Auburn, smacked by Missouri, lost to Texas A&M. Yeah, Arkansas's star player was out, so I don't really read much into that. They got smoked by Kentucky, lost to Missouri twice. Jeez, they lost to Vanderbilt. Jeez, Tennessee sucks. I can't believe they were ranked first at one point this year. That's just disgusting. The AP poll is so bad.
All right, we're putting in Louisiana +10.
Yeah, fuck Tennessee.
And a half on our podcast. Okay. All right, next game is Penn State, Texas A&M. It's a 7-10 seed game. A&M is -2.5. This seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, why is Penn State getting money?
I think because they played well at the end of the tournament, but I mean, it was that they were playing Big Ten teams. I mean, they beat Illinois, they beat Northwestern, they beat Indiana, but they beat them by 3, 2, and 4 points, and then they lost to Purdue by 2. But I feel like Purdue was beating them by a lot. They must have hit some lucky 3-pointers at the end and missed some free throws.
No, they were. I remember I looked with they were up the entire game, and then I looked, and they were only won by 2. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, because I thought because I had Penn State +7.5, like hedging against like a money line bet I had on Purdue, and I was like, "There's no way that's covering." And when I looked, I think they were down by like 10 with like a minute or 2 left, and then all of a sudden it was like the 5, and the next thing I knew they only lost by 2. I was like, "Well, clearly Purdue does not know how to close games because I've seen that multiple times now from Purdue."
Well, that's what happens when you have a full freshman backcourt. I mean, they have freshman point guard, shooting guard, small. Like that's why Purdue isn't going to go very far either.
Yeah. Yeah, so take Texas A&M in this one. That seems pretty obvious.
We're full. I mean, I hate full. I'm gonna stay away from this one as well until probably until Thursday. But because I know not every Big Ten team is gonna lose. So, I mean, it's possible, but some of these games, you never know. Penn State's a gritty team. I don't know. I'm staying away for this one from now, but I'm leaning A&M.
Yeah, Purdue's gonna win their first game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, they should. I'd hope so.
All right. Anyways, moving on. We got 2-15 game. UCLA is 2 seed, laying 18.5 against UNC Asheville.
Yeah, don't really have much thoughts on this one either. Didn't really watch Asheville a lot. Yeah, don't really care for this one.
There was a lot of early money on Asheville, so it went down from 19 to it's even 17.5 on some places. So.
Interesting.
But I don't really see value in this, man. Like, yeah, UNC Asheville, they won their tournament. I feel like I feel like they barely won some of these games, from what I remember. Yeah. I would not mess with that game. But UCLA did look good against Arizona, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean they have a good coach.
We were pretty sure Arizona was gonna lose that game, so I'm glad they didn't.
Dude, I was screaming at them, dude. If they, because both of UCLA centers went out, so their tallest guy was 6'6", and they had 2 7-footers. I'm like, dude, just throw it into the post every play. Like, there's no reason why one of your 7-footers shouldn't be able to score every play. And the fact they only won by 2 was just disgusting. So, yeah, UCLA should make a pretty deep run.
All right, now we finally made it to Friday's games. First game opening up's a banger. I feel like Michigan State USC.
It is a banger, and I already locked one of these sides up. Can you predict which one it was?
I'm going to say you took Michigan State on this one.
You're right, because I'm an idiot, but but I'm riding with, hey man, I'm riding with Tom Izzo. Look, I'm riding with a better coach. He's been here before. They got bounced out of the Big Ten tournament by Ohio State. They have a bad taste in their mouth. USC, I watched them against ASU. They were fucking awful, dude. They don't have an ounce of athleticism on their team. I don't understand how they had so many wins this year. It's just funny watching some of these teams, dude. Like, I don't understand how they win so many games when they don't have any athleticism. But Michigan State's a better team. I don't believe in USC. I know Michigan State lost against Ohio State. It was a big bummer, but I'm on them early. I think Tom Izzo gets it done.
I don't think Ohio State beating teams in the tournament really hurts the teams that much, because Ohio State was just like on a roll. And I feel like
in Chicago, they always have magic in Chicago. I feel like every Big Ten tournament.
In that Michigan State game, I watched that game very carefully because I was very mad. But I saw had the game been a little bit closer, I feel like the better coaching Izzo would have won that game. But he just couldn't. They could never break through from that like 10 point gap. And every time they would get close, like one of his people would just make a really dumb mistake, like one of the players, and it was just throw it out of bounds. It's like you can't. That's not like a coaching problem. That's just like
right. And it's just funny too, because they have a veteran unit. Their pick and roll game is good. That's why I thought for sure they would beat Ohio State. Because the only reason why I thought Ohio State made their run was because they went up against Iowa and who they beat before that. It was maybe it was just because they beat somebody before Iowa too. Who was it? Do you remember?
We bet against them then too, I think, right?
Yeah, we did, because we were fading them the entire tournament. But anyways, it doesn't matter. But they were the least used pick and roll team in the Big Ten, and then they went up against Michigan State, who used it the most. So I thought for sure.
Oh, they beat Wisconsin. They beat Wisconsin.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, their pick and roll game. What's up?
That was 13-12. Yeah, that was the lowest ranking, people.
Yeah. So to me, it was just a weird tournament. Ohio State always makes a run. So this one, it's just Michigan State's one of the few Big Ten teams that I believe in, because they have a good coach. They have solid veterans that can hit shots, that can play defense. They just need to stay focused. So I'm on Michigan State this game.
And honestly, I bet Michigan State viewed that game as like a scrimmage. They beat Ohio State earlier, like a couple weeks beforehand, and Ohio State beat Wisconsin. And yeah, they beat Iowa, but Iowa just like choked. It's like I'm not really too thrown off by that. So let's move on to the next game. This next game, though, I may have a shocking pick here. So it's 3-14 game with Xavier laying 11.5 points. Who do you think I'm going on in this game against Kennesaw State?
You're making it sound like you're saying it's Kennesaw State.
I mean, when I first look at it, I think, yeah, man, Xavier.
I don't know, man. Xavier's good.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second. But just going back to the USC Michigan State game, it's as simple as this, guys. Whoever has the better coach, that's the team you want to ride with, okay? The team that's been there before, that's done it, you want to ride with them. So that's one of the main reasons. But yeah, going back to Kennesaw State, Xavier, I don't really have much feel on this one. Kennesaw State, the first time they're in the tournament in school history. So they're not really used to being here. They have all their emotions out. This could definitely be an Xavier blowout, I feel like.
Well, the game is in North Carolina, and so Kennesaw State's in Georgia.
Right, so it's closer to them.
And Xavier's in Ohio, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Kennesaw State may keep it close in this game, but I guess that's why they play the game. So that was just my early lean, just looking at it. Maybe I'm just mad that Xavier destroyed Creighton like they did. But we'll talk about Creighton in a little bit.
Yeah, what's up? I don't know, but yeah, moving on.
All right, we got number 3 Baylor and number 14 UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, right off the bat, if I'm taking a side here, it's UC Santa Barbara. I don't know why Baylor is seated so high. They're a team I'm looking to fade.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Baylor this year. They didn't look too hot.
Yeah, so if anything, I'm betting the +11 with Santa Barbara, even though I'm not like a fan of them or anything. I just feel like Baylor isn't a good team. And then, obviously, if Baylor wins, I'm going to fade them in the second round.
All right, and this next one, I think we may have a 5-12 upset. We got
oh, really?
We got St. Mary's VCU. St. Mary's favored by 3.5. The line opened at -5, and it's already down to 3.5.
And they're really
early money's on VCU. What do you think about this game?
I don't know how I feel about this one because St. Mary's is one of those teams that can easily make a run. But then, man, I don't know. VCU looked like, I'm not going to lie, VCU looked like shit in the first half of their conference game today.
I didn't watch it.
I watched the complete game. Okay. Yeah, they looked like shit. They were down by 6 at half, and then they turned it around, and they won by like 11. But I don't know. I don't have a feel for this one. Maybe you can talk me into something, but I'll let you go ahead.
So VCU seems to cover. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They covered every game except for one in the tournament. St. Mary's, obviously they can't beat Gonzaga. I don't know how they got blown out so bad. That game pissed me off. Maybe that's I just like so turned off into St. Mary's. So I watched them just get behind and just not have any fight in them. They just that game just really turned me off to St. Mary's. But it could be because that was the only game I watched of them.
Yeah, St. Mary's fucked me last year in that tourney, so I'm not looking to bet them at all this year.
Yeah, I guess we can see how see how some of these games go before we get to that. But early lean to me is on VCU. Hopefully it doesn't go any lower than 3.5. But this next game is an interesting matchup. We got number 2 Marquette laying 11.5 against number 15 Vermont.
Yeah, I think if anything, I'm gonna hit the over in this game.
Yeah, we like Marquette to win games, but that's a lot of points. But Vermont,
a lot of points.
Vermont looked good until their championship game, and they didn't look good till the second half. I feel like they were.
Yeah, I agree, but yeah, go ahead.
I said they were letting UMass Lowell hang around.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those games too where it could go really either way. Marquette, they could be up the whole game, and Vermont can squeeze out a backdoor cover. So, if anything, I'll hope for points and hit the over, but I'm not really looking to bet a side on this one.
I don't see any value in that. Yeah, if you're really looking to bet Marquette, maybe throw it in a money line with some other 2 seeds and 1 seeds that you like. It's probably the only value on that. But all right, this game, I know we're going to be on maybe opposite sides, but 6-11 game.
But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and do a commercial break.
That's a good idea. All right, thank you. If you were advertising on our podcast, this is what your ad would sound like. Are you tired of losing? Are you tired of not being able to pay your rent? Are you tired of putting your gifts on layaway for your son that you've neglected due to your crippling gambling addiction? Well, good news. The Losing Streak podcast from Bankroll Bill in Austin is here to make you feel better about your failures and to commiserate with us as we also have our lives implode. Check it out now on your favorite podcast platform of choice, or don't, and save your money. And we're back. All right. So next game we're looking at 6-11 game. Creighton, 6 seed, laying 4.5 versus 11 NC State. I know you hate NC State, but I hate Creighton, so I may be taking the points here with NC State.
Should we do a little lock battle here?
We should.
All right, I'll take Creighton -5.
All right, I'll take NC State plus 5.5. That's what the line says.
I see -5 on DraftKings.
Well, I see plus 5.5 on Caesars. Because Caesars is the better book. We agree with that.
Oh, we do agree.
Right. So why do you like Creighton on this one?
I just think the ACC in general. I mean, I know we talked about Pitt earlier, but I just think NC State they got smoked by Clemson 3 times. They're not really that great. The ACC in general, I'm not really high on. I'm super high on the Big East. I know that Creighton got smoked by Xavier, but I mean, it's just one game. I feel like Creighton has a size that I don't know. They're just gonna. I just feel like it's a good matchup for Creighton and not for NC State.
All right. Well, I just am. Creighton looked like crap when I saw them in person on Friday at the Big East tournament. But yeah, I mean NC State when they're not playing Clemson seems to be like a pretty good team. But yeah, I don't know. My early leans on NC State, but I could be talked out of it. All right, we'll move on. That's our lock battle, right? All right.
Yeah, that's our one lock battle for now.
Locked battle.
Locked battle.
All right. Next game, 4-10 game. Iona is number 4-13 game. Iona is 13 seed, and Connecticut is laying 9.5 points.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Iona's demolished their entire league this year. I'm pretty sure Bobby Patino coaches them, so they probably have some talent over there. But we know UConn is poised to make a run.
Yeah, yeah. That's a pretty spot on line. I feel like that game will probably end around 10-point difference. So I'm just gonna stay away from that. And it's a New York team, so I can't bet it anyways. The game is in Albany though, in upstate New York. So maybe that'll help Iona, wherever the hell they're located in New York. Maybe
they got that name wrong on the coach. Let me look up who the coach is. Yeah, I think I said the wrong name. It's Rick Pitino, not Bob, and whatever Bobby Pitino. It's Rick Pitino, sorry. But he was a coach at Louisville for a long time, and now Louisville's dog shit.
Wait, did he get like in trouble or something? Right. Oh yeah.
I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, it was escort sex scandal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's a good coach though, so that's interesting. I didn't know he went there. Good old sex scandal. They love those in New York. So
but hey, man, they have a good team, I guess.
Hey, on November 3rd, the IARP, the Independent Accountability Resolution Process, said that they cleared all false allegations against Coach Pitino. They don't say what false allegations. Iona seems to back up their coach, so okay, he's exonerated from something.
But yeah, if you look at Iona, they were 17-3 in conference play, 27-7 overall, and they won 14 in a row. So they're definitely on a huge run.
Well, let's take the points of that. That may be a sneaky little upset game. I may do that for like a unit, fun game.
All right, we'll write that down.
We got to watch Marquette beat Connecticut, or I got to, in person.
Right.
That was a good game. Anyways, next game. Yeah, shout out Caesars. Next game, though. I'm not liking Providence in this spot, but maybe you are with Kentucky.
I already locked in. I locked in +3 with Providence, and it's already moved to +3.5, which I'm kind of surprised about because who the hell is trusting Kentucky at that number? But I just feel like Providence has the toughness and the size to battle Oscar Tshiebwe on Kentucky. I don't know. Providence has been here. I mean, Kentucky's obviously with John Calipari has been here, done that, but I don't know. I just feel like this is a really bad matchup for Kentucky. Providence has that veteran and tough team that can take them pound for pound. So I don't know.
Well, Providence has just been burning me lately, man. They've lost like 4 out of the last 5. They did not end the season well, I felt like, but I don't know. Kentucky hasn't been great this year either.
Yeah, it's just more of like I don't trust Kentucky to win a game on a neutral court against a tough team. So I just took the points with that one. I could be wrong and they could get blown out, but it's just I feel like that should be a close game.
All right, now our next game is a 5-12 matchup with the Miami Hurricanes laying 3.5
against this line. This is 2.5 on DraftKings.
Yeah, now it's down 2.5. It was 3.5. Yeah.
Ooh. So yeah, people must be liking Drake. I don't know.
I didn't we picked Drake in that Bradley game, but yeah, I don't see the logic here, man.
Yeah, is Drake really that good to be only 2.5-point dogs against Miami, Florida, the number one team in the ACC? I don't know.
I mean, we both agree that Miami kind of been choking up their last couple games with covering.
Yeah,
at
but
least.
they're still way more talented than Drake, and I think I might lock in that 2.5, man. I don't know. That just seems like too little.
Yeah, because Miami, the last 5 games, they beat Virginia Tech by 6. They lost to Florida State by 1, like whatever. They beat Pitt by 2. They beat Wake Forest by 2, and they lost to Duke by 7. So, like, yeah, they weren't covering, but if the line's 2.5, it's pretty easy for Miami to cover if they win. So,
Yeah, it's a one-possession game. That's the way you look at it. And then,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm locking in Miami. This is obvious. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, if you're taking Drake, you're probably taking the money line here. But I don't know. There's no way Drake won. I don't know. I mean, this could be an upset, but Miami, Florida's been good all year. They're not gonna just. Yeah, no, I like Miami, Florida. The line is just weird to me.
All these experts on Action Network took Drake at 3.5. So maybe that's what moved the line down to 2.5. But I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Drake is. I guess because Drake is 8-2 against the spread in the last 10, so maybe it's like a recency bias for them. But Miami knows they've been underperforming. They're not going to come out slow against Drake. They're going to. Exactly. I assume like they're going to beat the hell out of him. Like, and not like score wise, but like physically. Like they're about to get a new level of a competition here. But
right.
Whatever. I mean, we can all beat Bradley. We know we don't like Bradley in this house. All right. Next game, 3-14 game. Gonzaga laying 15.5 against my boys, Grand Canyon, 14 seed. I really like. This is one of those ones where I'm just probably not going to bet it because my brain tells me lay the points with Gonzaga, but my heart tells me I want Grand Canyon to keep it close.
If anything, you're going to hit the over because this is going to be a high scoring game. But yeah, this is just one of them where it's like Gonzaga's probably going to roll them over. It's not really not really anything I'm interested in. But Grand Canyon had a really great season. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Yeah, over 156 is the total.
Yeah.
They still probably hit the over on that.
Dude, I mean, they probably will. They're both two really high-scoring teams.
So there's a system on Action Network that has a 55% win with a 6% return on investment, and they say take the under for this game. But based on like neutral court unders.
Rethinking, I kind of do like the under too because I feel like Gonzaga, if it is going to be a blowout, Grand Canyon is probably going to struggle a lot to shoot the ball. So I feel like it could be like Gonzaga 88, Grand Canyon like 64, and then actually that would get the over, I think. But it's something crazy like that, like 78 to like 58.
Yeah, because when Gonzaga blows out people, when they even blew out, what was it, Charleston? Who's CHS? I don't know who that is.
That's the Chicago State, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was 104 to 65. So they barely hit that over after they scored 104 points.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I kind of like that under too. Write that down and let's keep an eye on that under. I kind of like that.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We have our boys in Memphis. This seems obvious already. Memphis laying 2.5.
Yeah. Apparently it opened. Yeah, it opened at 1.5, and it's already at -3 on DraftKings. So I'm kind of bummed I didn't see the 1.5 with Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis all day, man. I don't even like. I took them to get the. I took Houston just in a parlay today with Purdue, thinking it was a smart move. But I took Memphis plus the points. Like I thought, I don't know. Like Memphis, they've been impressing me all year. We both picked them to win the conference tournament. Yeah. So like Florida Atlantic, they've got a better record, but I mean, look who they've been playing, man.
Dude, this game should be really fun. But yeah, Memphis is just super athletic. They're probably the most fun team to watch in the country, in my opinion. Like Memphis is so much fun to watch. I love watching them play whenever I get a chance. So even at -3, I'll probably ride it with Memphis. But this is a game that I'll probably hope to watch and just hope to catch some points with Memphis or something. Because yeah, this is a game that Memphis should win, and if they do, they can probably make a run. So yeah. Definitely on Memphis.
All right. Next game, we got Montana State at Kansas State. 14-3 seed. Kansas State laying 8.5.
I already locked in Montana State at +9. I think it opened at +9.5.
Yeah,
Uh,
plus 9.5.
I just don't believe in Kansas State. I don't think they're a great team. I told you that a bunch. They're a team I'm looking to fade as well in this tournament. Montana State has the ability to shoot the ball, and they have size that can bother Kansas State. So I think this is a close game. So I'm on Montana State at +9. It's already at +8.5, like you said. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I already
I don't
locked
hate
it in.
that. Yeah, I don't hate that pick. You hit it. You got the smart number. You get the better number. So if you listen to us and you could get the second best, you know.
Dude, the
All
last
right,
few days we've been getting the better lines. I mean, remember we gave out Iowa at -1. They shot up to -4.5 and still lost. We
Yeah.
gave out. Who else did we give out? We gave out
Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah, money line.
Yeah.
They went up to -3. We gave out Indiana money line. They went up to -3. I mean, yeah, we've been doing good with the early look aheads the night before. So yeah, if you guys listen early enough, you guys can find some value.
Yeah, if you interact with us on Twitter, you may even get more value. But
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
next game, Kent State plus
Last
4.5. Yeah, last game, Kent State plus 4.5 at Indiana. Well, last game not including the multiple, because technically the last game that day is the TCU game, but we don't know who they're going to play yet. Arizona State.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So Kent State at Indiana. Indiana's laying 4.5. I was hoping Toledo was going to win the MAC. Honestly, like Toledo looked good, but
Yeah, I was on Toledo. Kind of bummed they lost too, but it's whatever. This line's kind of tricky too. A lot of people are on Kent State right now.
yeah, I think Indiana is going to be one of the. I don't think they'll go very far, but I think they'll win this game.
They're so Jekyll and Hyde, man, because they have Jackson Tracy Davis, who's if not number one, just behind Zach Edey as the number 2 best player in the country, man. That dude is so good. And then on top of that, they have the what's his face? What's that point? Hood Schifino, their point guard, who can score anywhere on the court. And they have a bunch of 3-point shooters, and then obviously Mike Woodson, who was an NBA coach. I mean, they have talent. It's just they just don't have like that other option besides Hood Schifino and Jackson Davis. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This game's kind of hard too, but I'm staying away from it at first. But you got to side on that one.
Yeah, I like Indiana in this game because I think like in a normal year where the Big Ten is actually pretty good, I feel like this would be a dangerous game for Indiana. But I feel like Indiana knows, especially it's going to be like one of the last games. If the other Big Ten teams are losing like we expect, they're going to come to this game. They know they're going to be kind of like, you know, the standard bearer that you can't lose to a MAC team. You know,
Right.
they're going. I think they're going to come.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to go. I mean, obviously every team's going all out in these games, but I feel like this would be a good spot for Indiana. Honestly, like yeah, Kent State's good, but I feel like Toledo. If this was playing Toledo, I would have gone with Toledo. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So my early lean towards that's Indiana.
All right.
All right.
Next up, we are looking at some futures for the region winners.
Okay, futures.
So right off the bat, we have the South region. Alabama's favored at +190, Arizona +400, Baylor +550, Creighton +700, and so on and so forth. Who are you leaning here?
Wait, sorry, my the stupid Action Network. It was only giving me the final. I guess Final Four is the same thing, but it wasn't splitting it by region. Let me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Who do you like early?
I think right off the bat, value-wise, Arizona, just because they have the length to contend with Alabama. But that would be really awesome if we got a South Region championship between Alabama and Arizona, because those are two teams that are tough. They can shoot the ball. They have length. That would be a really fun game to watch. So I think I would go with Arizona +400 and hope that they match up with Alabama at the end, and you can hedge with Alabama. But that would be a really fun matchup.
Sorry, my DraftKings is not even showing me futures, man. Everything's messed up right now. So, all right. So
You're good. I'll read them back. I'll read them back too. So it's Alabama +190, Arizona +400, Baylor 550, Creighton 700, San Diego State 900.
All right. So, yeah, I think Baylor is definitely. I mean, I think Arizona is good value on this one. And
Yeah, definitely the best overall. I mean, Alabama might win it just because they're probably the most talented team for sure, up and down. But yeah, Arizona with the best value for sure.
yeah, I don't see much value with these other teams. For any, do you want to pick one? We'll pick one that we think is going to win the region, then we'll pick one that has to be plus like 4,000 or higher, like our Cinderella pick for each region. Let me see how we do.
Or like plus 1,000 and higher.
Yeah, plus 1,000 or higher. So for the South region, who are you picking?
I think if we're going like straight, I think Alabama wins this.
Okay.
I think they're just too good, man. They can. They're players like we've been watching them all year. I mean, earlier we said that like they're not going to win shit, but man, they look good. I mean, anyone on their team can hit a shot. They have length. They have toughness. I mean, Alabama's a scary team.
All right, and I'm gonna go with Arizona just to be different. So, and if you had to pick a Cinderella team from the South region, who would you pick?
I mean, Crayon if I could, but since they're not plus 1,000, I'd probably go with West Virginia plus 1,400.
I
Look
like
at that.
that.
See, that's what these odds makers think of Virginia. West Virginia has better odds of making it out of the South region than Virginia does.
Well,
That's all you need
plus,
to know about
Virginia is
how
plus,
Vegas feels.
Well, Virginia's plus 1,000 on mine.
On this
FanDuel.
one, on DraftKings, West Virginia is plus 1,400 and Virginia is plus 1,500.
That's interesting. So, West Virginia is plus 1,600 on here.
That's weird.
They can't make up their minds, man.
Huh.
I'm gonna go crazy. No, I'm not gonna go crazy.
You're gonna say Charleston or Furman?
I was gonna say NC State just to be funny.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, at least say Furman or something, man.
All right. We'll go with Furman. What are they? Plus 10,000.
Really, plus 8,000 on DraftKings, so they give them a little bit more.
Plus 10,000 here. All right, if I get a free bet from FanDuel, I'll put it on there. Okay.
Oh my gosh! All right.
All right, so let's go.
Oh, this one we could. I'm actually going to bet. So we have the East region: Purdue plus 220. Hell no. Marquette plus 425. Tennessee plus 425. Duke plus 800. K-State plus 1,000. Kentucky plus 1,200. Hold on. Michigan State plus 1,500. Memphis plus 1,600.
Yeah, it's plus 1,800 on FanDuel.
So right off the bat, I'm taking Marquette and Memphis in this region.
Damn it! I guess we're going squad ride for this one.
Squad ride. No, and I'm actually going to bet this, bro. Purdue is not going to win this region. Purdue is so overrated. Marquette's going to win this region. Tennessee is terrible. Duke is terrible. Kentucky is terrible. Kansas State is terrible. This is Marquette's region to lose.
I like this. I like it.
Yeah.
Squad ride.
And then Memphis is better than all these teams as well. Give me Memphis over K-State. Give me Memphis over Tennessee. Give me Memphis over Kentucky. Like, come on.
All right, FanDuel, if you give me a free bet, I'll put it on Memphis here, okay? You can do it. All right. What's our next region?
All right, next is the West region. This one's actually really interesting. This is probably the hardest region. UCLA plus 275, Kansas plus 350, UConn plus 400, Gonzaga plus 425, St. Mary's plus 1,000, and TCU at plus 1,200. Even you could keep going. Arkansas plus 1,400, Boise State plus 2,200. So this is a really hard region.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I gotta go with Kansas because they're not playing Texas.
Right.
So that's the only team they can't beat.
Yeah, and Bill Self will be back. I mean, I don't hate that one either, man. I'm not gonna ride with UCLA because I hate UCLA. I hate watching them play. I just don't understand how they're that good. But since you took Kansas, I think I'm gonna ride with Gonzaga, and then I think my crazy call will be TCU at plus 1,200.
Yeah, TCU at plus 1,200. I got Kansas. Let's see.
I got the Gonzaga too at plus 425.
I'll go with your boys from Arkansas. Plus 2,000 on here. Yeah. So I got Kansas and I got Arkansas. Okay. I'm ready.
All right. I got Gonzaga, TCU for that one. That's another interesting region that could go many ways. I feel like any one of those top four teams, UCLA, Kansas, UConn, Gonzaga, could win that one.
Yeah, those will be good games. Those will be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Midwest region. This is another interesting one, but it feels like it's already written in stone. Houston plus 160, Texas plus 300, Xavier plus 700, Iowa State plus 1,000, Indiana plus 1,200, Miami, Florida plus 1,400. So odds makers clearly want Houston to advance to the Final Four in Houston.
I don't think. But where's this region though?
I think it's in Texas. Or actually, I don't know where it's at, but I know the Final Four is in Houston.
Yeah, let's see where the Midwest region is. Because I think I'm going to go with Texas in this one, man. They've been impressing me lately. I think, let's see where it's in Kansas. Again, they're going to be in Kansas. So, yeah, I'm thinking for my like real pick is Texas, and my Texas A&M's at plus 1,000. So I'm going to go Texas and Texas A&M in this one.
All right, and for me, I'm gonna stay safe on this. I'm gonna go Houston plus 160. I feel like it's their conference to lose for sure. And then I think my Cinderella pick for this one is gonna be Indiana at plus 1,200.
Yeah. All right, you heard it here first. Our region picks.
But I think our favorite picks that we will agree with are Marquette to win the East region. I think that's our favorite pick.
Yeah.
At plus 425 on DraftKings. I'm not sure what it is elsewhere.
Have you been seeing some of these Sweet 16 things? Any of these interest you? It just says yes or no to make the Sweet 16.
Where are those at?
It's on FanDuel at least.
Oh, I don't see any on DraftKings. What are some of those on FanDuel?
So, like Alabama to make the Sweet 16, yes is minus 300. That's pretty obvious. Yeah. Like Arizona, minus 225. But Marquette's minus 142.
What the heck?
Oh, Memphis is plus 360. I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
I gotta see who they play though.
But we can get more into those odds when we fill out our tournament brackets right now. So let's end this episode. Let's do our call off, our send off, and then we can get into our tournament bracket.
Okay. Let me pull it up here. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Check me out on Twitter at bankroll_Bill. And Austin can be found at
Austin Sporsic.
Our email for the podcast is thelosingstreakpodcast@gmail.com. And our voicemail line is 646-494-7185. We also got a YouTube page. You can post on there. You can leave comments like the one guy who left a comment that said we need to promote on social media. And what did he say? I think he just said promote and social media advertise.
Well, he said we need to say our goals into what did he say? He our dreams into put our words into air or whatever, and they'll come true. He said some weird stuff like that.
Wait, what? I didn't see that.
The comment, it was like if we say our goals, they'll come true. If we say them out loud in the podcast or something like that. You didn't see that?
Did I totally miss what I even sent you?
I think you did, but maybe I was reading something wrong. But I don't know. I just laughed at it. I thought it was pretty funny. But we appreciate any
Yes, we enjoy interaction. Oh no! The other things were spam commenters. They were saying you can make a lot of money by putting focus on yourself.
Okay.
Next $750. Yeah, no. There was only one from Chris Dooley. So shout out to Chris Dooley with your
shout out
promosm.com logo. I hope you're not a spam. If you're a spam, good job. You faked me out with promo/social media. But all right.
Oh fuck.
All right. So anything else you'd like to add, Austin?
No, man. Just hope you guys are enjoying the content. We're getting better. Obviously, this is getting more fun. So hopefully, we're getting a little bit more growth. But yeah, we're about to record another tournament bracket episode. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. But yeah.
And I have an idea for Austin. What if we do some sort of Twitch stream during one of the games?
I'm down.
You're down? Okay. We'll figure that out this week since I'm off this week because it's my spring break from dental school. So
Yeah, we'll pick a game and we can try to live stream and sweat out like a bet together or something like that.
it'd be good. You can see my live frantic hedge betting and be like, "What is wrong with this man?" All
And
right.
you can see me sit there and just being pissed off as my team is down 15 and then claws its way back to lose by 3 on the hook.
Sounds about right. All right. Well, see you later.